Alrighty, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all doing well today. This is what we call our advanced webinar. So this one just goes a little more in depth with our website builder and the edits within the website builder. Mondays and Wednesdays, we do host what we call our basic webinar. That is to run over just the platform itself and just kind of be like an introductory period. Our advanced webinar on Thursdays is just a little more in depth about certain aspects of the builder. Just a few notes before we get started. We do keep everyone muted just to prevent any audio feedback. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to utilize either the chat box or the Q&A option down at the bottom of your screen. We do set aside some time towards the end for us to run through any questions, go through anything. So even if it's not related to the webinar, you just have a question about maybe your website, that's totally fine. That's what we can use that time for. Our agenda for today, we'll go over how to update some content. So we'll focus on the content section of the platform. So we'll go over how to update, add, create, delete, all of that fun stuff. Adding and editing pages, page layouts, editing menu items, and then how to get in touch with our support team should you need anything. Right over here is our support contact information. So our phone number is 310-955-1077. We are open on phones from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Email and live chat. Live chat you can reach through the right-hand corner of the dashboard, and email support@Luxury Presence. We do have 24/7 support now, but it is limited after 6 p.m. Pacific, but we do have people on staff at all times now to help take care of any immediate needs. I am going to send over a couple of resources here in our chat box. These are just a couple of links for us to bookmark. The first one that's there is our platform login. So the app.luxurypresence.com. That's how you log into the website builder to be able to edit anything on the website. The second portion is our knowledge base. So that is just our help center with all of our helpful articles, anything that you might need to be able to get started. I'm going to flip my screen over here and we'll pop over to the builder and we will get started on some fun stuff. All right. All right, I'm going to start here in my editor. Let me share my screen again. All right, so we're gonna start over here in the editor. Give me just 1 second. Let me swap over to my other tab here. All right, so starting here in our platform, we're just gonna do a quick walkthrough of a few things and then we'll jump into the main portion of today's content. First thing, we have our dashboard. So over on the left-hand side are all of your menu options. Contacts, this is where your leads will live, excuse me. So any leads that you receive on your website will live under contacts. Content, this is the tab we're mostly going to be focusing on today, but content is where you'll do anything, property, agents, blogs, anything that you want to edit and then later have it visible on the website, have it be kind of like a dynamic element, that'll be done here. So agents, blog posts, neighborhoods, offices, properties, testimonials, all of those will be here in content. Listing feeds, I'm sure most of you are familiar with these, but this is where you can access those. Websites, if you have your website here, this is the tab where you can edit it. Presentations, reporting, that's pretty much it. For right now, we're going to start over here in the content section. And we're just going to run through a couple of things first. So obviously, we ran through kind of everything that's in here in content. What I want to run over primarily is just adding new content, editing, changing things around. So we'll start here. I'm going to add a new testimonial. So testimonials are ones you add here in the builder. I'm in the content tab, and then they will reflect on the live site later after your changes are made. So right now I have these 4, but let's say I want to add another one. So I'm going to click on Add New up here in the top right. My author, we'll say it's Charlie Brown today. Charlie Brown, and Charlie Brown was a buyer who I helped. We'll say that Charlie Brown was helped by Fido. And then let's grab a quick testimonial here. Let's pop this over here. And then I'm going to add an image of my author here. Let's see. Perfect. So Charlie Brown, he was a buyer that I assisted, that Fido assisted. We have a quick testimonial body. We added an image. This is everything that we need. I'm happy with this testimonial. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And once it saves, now I have that as a new testimonial here on my page. So now I have 5 testimonials, but we'll see how they go. Let's say I want to, now that I have all of these testimonials, I'm happy with them. I've added this new one. I'm ready to go. They're updated. Now I want to make sure this shows up on my website. I'm going to jump over here to my websites tab, and I'm going to hover over my website. You have a couple options. The pencil icon will be the one that allows you to edit the website versus the icon, it's giving you a view. So it'll just take you to the live website. For this, I'm going to click on the pencil icon so that I can edit my website. And we're going to start here and take a look at the page. Right now I have my theme set up, my neighborhoods, a few other sections on this homepage, but I don't necessarily think I need testimonials on here. What I would like to do though is add my testimonials to my Work With Us page because I would think that that would look pretty nice. So we'll pop over here and let's see. I think right in between here will be a good place, but I kind of want to edit the way that this looks first. So we'll click on edit up here in the top right corner. Anything that you want to edit, you click on edit first, and then you can click on any section. So if you want to change, let's see, I want to change this Why Work With Our Team, I'll just click right on it. And Why Work With Our Team is the title over here on the left-hand side. Because We Care is our subtitle. I can add a description if I wanted to. This will just show up in smaller text below it. So I can say, hi, this is a description. And now we can see it's a little bit smaller text that shows up there. Also over here on the left-hand side are just additional settings. So if we wanted to have a couple of buttons, there's a left call to action and a right call to action. Call to action just means that the button is there intending for a user to click on it. The left one would take us to our About page, and then the right one would take us to our contact form. But I'm okay with the way that this looks. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and click on this plus button here because I want to add a new testimonial section. So we'll click on add. And in here, once you go to add a new element or a new section, there's all these different categories. The different categories are set up based upon what is the most popular and what's the most effective, efficient for a website. Testimonials are a common one. They're something that are really important, especially to real estate websites. So they have their own section here. Click on testimonials, and there's a few different ones. There's a testimonial list, a featured testimonials, and a grid. I think for this specific one, I'm just going to add the featured testimonials. So it'll just show one at a time, which I think would look pretty nice. So we'll see, this is how it looks now. I'm not crazy about it. I think we can get rid of this view all button. I don't really want them to see that. So we'll click on this eye and hide that button so it doesn't show up. And then let's say, maybe I don't like the way that Tucker's testimonial looks. I can select every other testimonial except for Tucker's, and now Tucker's won't show up. I'll only see these 4. If I want to see every single testimonial, you'll just turn off the toggle and make sure that it's set to default. If you turn it on, that's when you're able to custom sort. Or if you want to have this on like multiple pages, but only show a couple per page, you can also do it that way. There are a few other settings here on the left-hand side. So autoplay just means that it'll automatically flip through each of the testimonials. Show arrows, if you turn that on, it shows arrows for users to be able to click through each testimonial on their own. The enable truncation, if you have very long testimonials, you may want to enable truncation. Truncation basically just means that it's shortening the information so that it doesn't take up too much space. So if you have a really long testimonial, you would want to enable truncation and have a view more button. That way you don't have an entire page of just one testimonial and then the rest of the section look blank. But for now, I'm okay with the way that this looks, so I'll go ahead and hit save. And we'll leave it like that. So I'm okay with the way that this looks now. I have my opening, I have a Why Work With Us, I have my testimonials, and I think that that looks pretty good. But now what I'd like to do is make a whole new testimonials page. I don't have one yet. I have all these other pages, but I don't have a testimonial page quite yet. There's a few ways that you can add a new page. Down at the bottom, you can click on the left-hand side, click Add New Page, or you can click on this plus button right over here. Personally, I find it easier just to click Add New, just because I see new and I want to click on it. There is another way that you're able to edit pages, which is over here. Click the 3 dots next to edit, And then there's manage pages. Under manage pages, you have all of your different page options. You can rearrange how the pages show up in your view, and then you can click add a page right up there. So we'll go here, we'll do add new page. Page type, there's tons of different page types, tons. It really just depends on what type of page you're looking to add to the website, but we have a preset like template for just about any of them. We do have one for testimonials, and I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So we'll click on testimonials. My page name is going to be testimonials, you guessed it. We'll leave the page path as is. Page path is what shows after the .com or the .realtor or the .co. It's / whatever the page is. And then page SEO title. Personally, I think that it's best to keep consistent branding all the way around. What I like to do is do page name, and then a vertical line, and then agent / company, if I can type. Yeah. So that way it looks consistent. So for my instance, it would be page name, it would be testimonials, vertical line, and then Katie selling in blah, blah, blah. Something just to keep it kind of consistent across all of the different pages. I'm okay with the way that this looks for now. This is just a template page for us, so I'm not worried about SEO. I'm going to go ahead and click on add and add this. Now that I've added this specific page, it takes us all the way into that new page for us to be able to start messing around and editing things. If you notice, because we did a testimonials page, it's preset with some things that we already want. So it comes preset with our homepage opening, the testimonial list, and it also comes with the work with us section. There's Instagram if you want to add it here, and then there's our footer. For now, I kind of want to change the testimonial list. I gotta be honest, I'm not crazy about it. So I'm actually going to click here and click on delete because I don't want this section. And I hit my plus button, go back to testimonials, and I'm going to do a grid instead because I think a grid looks better. So we'll have our grid here. Everything looks good. But let's say I only want 4 to show, not 5. I'm going to pop back over here to default, turn on my custom sort, and I'm just going to show on, we'll say those 4. So now it'll reflect, and then the order that I selected them is the order that they're going to show up. So I picked Charlie Brown first, then Sophie, then Alex, then Murphy. You can also change your colors here. So over here on the background color, if I don't like necessarily that gray, or if I think it's too dark of a gray, I can change my opacity. So I can make my opacity like 50. So make it a little less intense of a gray. Or if I like the opacity, I can leave it at 100, but maybe I just want to change the color. You can either type in the hex code if you know it, or you can just click on the little button here and then you can change the color to whatever you think that you'd like it to be. Let's see, we'll pop this back. 3. And I am okay with the way that this works. So for now, I like this. I'm going to go ahead and hit save just so I don't lose those changes. But I kind of want to change this up just a little bit. So we'll click on edit again, click into the section. We'll click here in testimonials. And we'll say, what's something fun that we can say? Here, why our client. I know it sounds kind of silly, but just so we can see what it looks like as a description. It's a little bit of a different font, but the cool thing is it's smaller, so it kind of draws the eyes to it. So I'm okay with the way this looks. I'll hit save for now. And I'm okay with the way that this is. So I have my new testimonials page. I changed the grid out. I separated these to whatever I wanted. Now the next step is to make sure that this page is accessible by our clients. So right now, the only way they can access this page is if they know to do / testimonials at the end of the domain. So we're going to make sure we add this. So up here in the top middle, there's 3 different buttons. The left one is pages. So this pages button is the one that allows you to edit the pages, add new pages, rearrange pages. Anything to do with the pages goes there. The middle button, which is global elements, these are things that are consistent across the website. So things like your header, your footer, your side menu, your mobile contact buttons. So the little like phone icon and the little email icon that show up on a phone, and the contact form. The last one over here is the website styles. So these are things like your colors, your typography, your website branding, anything like that. We'll pop over here to global elements, and I'm actually going to start in the header. In the header, we're going to click on content, and these are all the different options that are in my header right now. So there's home valuation, home search, about us, Resources is a submenu, which means there's a couple options underneath. And this one, there's a buyer's guide and market reports. Contact us and our phone number. I want to add a new menu item, so I'm going to go right over here next to navigation and click on the plus sign. You have a couple of options. There is add new item. A new item is just a singular item. There's nothing, there's no like submenu or anything needed. New group would be something like resources, where it shows resources and then there's two things inside of resources. So for now, I'm just going to click on new item. I'm going to call this my testimonials page. I can't type today, goodness. And we're going to link this to our testimonials page. So we'll click there. And now I can see where this is. I kind of want this a little bit further up than my contact section. So I'm actually going to move this in between about us and resources, I think. Right about there. And I think that looks good. So we'll go ahead and save that. I'm happy with how it looks. And you can see it reflected up here in the website editor. Something to note as you're making these changes, just because the change is made and reflected immediately within the builder does not mean it's going to happen on the live website. It can take time for things to go through the cache, for things to update, for data to be recrawled. Sometimes it's as short as a few minutes, other times it could take a couple of hours, but just something to keep in mind. If you see it updated in the website editor, it will update on the live site. It just needs time. I added testimonials to the header, so I'm okay with that. So now let's go over to my side menu, because that's the other place where I have menu items. We'll go again into content. We're going to add our testimonials. We have all these different options right now, but I want a testimonials page in there, so I'll click on new item once again. We'll do testimonials. I'm going to link this to my testimonials page. And then I can rearrange this. So let's say I want to move this up here by work with us. So now I have all of these different options. I can see them over here on the right-hand side. I have testimonials as a menu item. I'm happy with it. I'll go ahead and click on save. Now that that's been saved, there's not much left to do here to make sure that it's able to be like visible or accessible by clients. We've added it up into our home header navigation. We've added it into our side navigation. Let's go back over to our pages and see what else we might be able to edit here. Since we've already edited quite a few things. Let's see. Hop back over to our testimonials page. Now, let's say maybe you change your mind on the page. You change your mind on the SEO settings, or you rebrand, or something happens where you need to edit the page settings. If you click on the three dots, there's a few options. So there's site settings, manage pages, page settings, and we'll click on page settings to drop this left-hand menu, make it pop out. There's a few options. We can change the page name. So if I wind up getting enough testimonials to split my pages, maybe I want to have a buyer's testimonials and a seller's testimonials. Totally doable. We'll just change the name and change the filter. So let's say that we have that. Now I have enough testimonials and I only want buyer testimonials. And I change this to buyer testimonials. I'm going to change my page path to buyers dash testimonials. I'll leave that as it is. I'm okay with this image. This image is the one that shows up whenever you share this specific URL. So if I'm going to share my domain, like domain.com/buyers testimonials, whenever I share that specific link, this is the image that shows up. So if you ever want to change the way that is visible, so if you want to change what the page says, it's page SEO title. If you want to change the image that's shown, it's the image down here. I'll go ahead and hit save for now. And so now this is my buyer testimonials, and I want to add, let's do another testimonials page. I'm going to do a seller's testimonials. Call this one sellers dash testimonials. We'll do page name. And then we'll do eight. We'll add that. And now I have a seller's testimonials page, which again, same thing. I'm okay with this. So we'll save this. Now let's say, since I've created my seller and my buyer testimonials pages, now I need to change my menu. We'll go back up to global. We'll go into the header. We'll go into content, and now is when we're able to change this. So testimonials, you know what? Now that I have these two, I'm actually going to get rid of this one, and we're going to add a new group. The group title will be testimonials, but what I'm going to do is add each of these. So we'll have a buyer's testimonials. We'll link this to our buyer's page. And then we'll have a seller's testimonials. We'll link this to our seller's page. So now I have a testimonials drop down with buyer's testimonials and seller's testimonials. I'm going to move this back up where I had it in between About Us and Resources. Wait for this to update. I like the way that that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then we're just going to repeat this again over in the side menu. So we'll change our drop down to side menu. We'll click on content. I'm going to remove testimonials since now I've created this new page. We'll do new group. This is a testimonial group. And then our first one will be the buyer's testimonials. We will link this to our buyer's page. And then we also will wind up over here with our seller's testimonials. We'll link this to our seller's page. Perfect. So I'll go back over here. I'll rearrange this where I want it. I'll do it under work with us. So now I have my side menu with the drop down for testimonials. And I'll go ahead, hit save. And I am okay with the way that that looks. Alrighty, I'm gonna pop back out of here. So we ran over a few things. I know that was kind of a lot, but we will just kind of do a quick recap and then I'll open the floor up for some questions. So starting in our dashboard here, we have a few things. Today, we primarily focus in our content tab, specifically in testimonials. However, everything that we did in testimonials will work across all of the content. So things like your agents, your blog posts, properties, etc. Today for testimonials, we added a new one. And after adding that new one, we went over into our website editor. And in the website editor, we were able to narrow down our filters. So where's my work with this page? We learned how to navigate pages. We updated our page. We added a new testimonial section right over here. We edited our testimonials to make sure that it showed only the ones that we wanted, and we're happy with that. We also added two new pages, a buyer testimonials and a seller testimonials. These two pages we added into our header and our side menu. We actually did it twice, which is pretty cool. We showed how to do just an individual item and how to do a group. I'm going to stop presenting really quickly and then I will open the floor up to any questions. I see we have a couple in here. So let's see this first one here. Where is there a way to change the order of testimonials? Yes, there is. Let me pop back in here and I'll show you how we can edit that order. Because you can change the display order in a couple of ways. Let me go back over here real fast. Let me share my screen for you one more time. So there's a couple of ways to set the display order. The first way is if you're not going to do a custom sort, so you're not going to specifically have a few pages per, what am I trying to say? If you're not going to have like a few testimonials per page, like narrow it down that way where you have a few buyer testimonials or a few seller testimonials, you're just going to have all of them on one page and then go and show all those. You can display them right here. You can click on these two arrows that are right next to display order and you can set the global order. So let's say Alex, I don't want Alex's testimonial to be first. I want it to be the fourth one. We can go ahead and save that and then it'll automatically update things. Actually, if I change, we'll say Charlie Brown will make one. We'll change you to one. And so you can edit it this way where it'll swap those. So now Charlie Brown is the first one, and then Alex will be the fifth one. The other way to do it is in the website editor itself. We'll pop over to say like our buyer testimonials page. Actually, that's not a good one because that was in a grid, not a list. Let's go over to our work with us page. You know what? Let me change this section really quickly, and then I'll show you what I mean on how to do it in the builder. Since this has a testimonial list, this is a good one to show. If you're not wanting to set a specific order, but there's maybe like on this page, you only want to show a few, but you want the few you have in a certain order, it goes based on the order you click on them. So like on this page, my sellers page, let's say I like Sophie's the most, and then Murphy, and then Charlie. They will display in the order that I clicked them. So it goes Sophie, then Murphy, then Charlie. But it just depends on the order. Or if you have all of these selected and you just want to rearrange them, you can just click on the dots to rearrange however they show up. So you can either do it in content in the main portion, or you can do it over here in the editor itself. It's completely up to you on how you edit them. If you save changes either by accident or change your mind, and like what you had before, is there a way to go back to your previous version? Unfortunately, not right now. That is something that recently got brought up and we are wanting to change. I think that that's something that's personally, I think is very important. Right now, we do have the ability to look at audit logs to see what changes were made, and we can sometimes restore based on the audit log. But things like images or videos, things like that aren't always shown in there. And right now, it's just not a reliable way for us to be able to revert things. The best thing I can recommend is just to save as you go. Or if you know you're going to be making a lot of edits, like if you're wanting to kind of rebrand a lot of things or completely just change up the look of the website, what I would recommend is contacting the support team. What we can do is create a duplicate of your website, so clone your website, and you can edit the clone. So you can change everything that you want on there without actually affecting the one that's live. And then when you're ready to make your changes live, we can swap the site that's up. That way you don't have to worry about like accidentally changing something or deleting something or worrying about the way that any changes might reflect on your live website. That is a fantastic question. It is something that our product team is figuring out how we can do. It's just gonna unfortunately take a little bit of time. Thank you. I'm glad those were helpful answers. All right. Did anyone have any other questions? I know that was kind of an info dump, so I understand if it's a lot to take in. We did used to send out email recordings of these after the sessions, but unfortunately something happened with our Zoom settings. These recordings do not automatically go out anymore. We're still trying to figure out how to fix that. If you do want a recording of the session today, feel free to reach out to us either by phone or by email, or by chat even, and we can send you a copy of the recording, either of today's session. It'll just take me a few minutes to compile the video and send it out, or we can send you the last week's session. I believe there should be a link to these recordings in our knowledge base. So feel free to check there, but if there's not one, you can just give support a phone call and we can send you a copy. I know we finished kind of quickly on that, but I will, if everyone's okay and feeling good, I'll give everybody a minute of their time back. If you want a copy of the recording, just give our support team a holler. We'll get it sent out to you, but otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Have a fantastic weekend, and thank you all so much for joining.